Everybody, welcome back to Critic and Fan, and today I'll be reviewing the movie Suicide Squad. And I will not be doing this review by myself. My friend Robert, he'll be sharing his thoughts on the movie right after mine. So stick around for that. And so Suicide Squad, what is it? And it's basically this ragtag group of people who are villains, and they are enlisted by the government even though they're in prison, but the government basically enlists them to be a part of this team that if there's dangerous missions, the government will send them out and they'll most likely die because they're so dangerous. But if they succeed and if they survive, the government will trade them off with, you do this for us, we'll take off a couple of years off your sentences. So it's that kind of a deal that's going on. So we have, we got Deadshot, we got Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang, Diablo, we got Katana, we got Enchantress, and we also have Rick Flag, who's not a bad guy, but he's basically the government soldier who's leading this group. And this group is put together by Amanda Waller, and who's another government agent. And so there's a threat in the city, and who can stop them except for the Suicide Squad? So the government sends this group out, and that's pretty much a very straightforward part of this movie. So let's go into the positives first. First, I love the team. I love Will Smith as Deadshot. I loved Harley Quinn. I loved Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and all the characters of the team were very. I cared about pretty much everybody, except for one character who's only in the movie literally for about 30 seconds. I don't even know why they even promoted this character as part of the Suicide Squad because they did not last at all. They died within the first 30 seconds. I'm sorry. It might seem like a spoiler, but I mean, it's such a throwaway character. You're like, wow, okay, whatever. That was totally pointless. Why they even bother promoting them in the first place? But anyway, but the rest of the team that's around, I loved everybody. I loved the Joker, even though he's only in it for about maybe 10 minutes in the movie. I loved what they did with the Joker, and I like the dynamic between him and Harley Quinn. I'm excited to see what they do with Jared Leto's Joker in future movies. I loved the cameos that are in the movie. We all know that Batman's in it, and there's also another hero that pops in for a quick couple seconds. So pay close attention because that's a pretty cool scene. And so I liked the action for sure. I loved the color scheme of the movie. I did like most of the soundtrack choices that they used in the movie. And I thought that this is what DC needed for sure because Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, they weren't great movies, and I was just not impressed so far with the DC universe. And this movie I thought got the DCU back on track. Well, not back on track. It got them on the right foot because the first two movies weren't that great. So with that being said, is it a great movie? It's not. There's actually a lot of problems with this movie, but it's a movie that I had a lot of fun with compared to the first two movies. So the problems that I had was the villain for sure. The villain did feel like a Marvel throwaway kind of a villain, where there is some depth as to where the villain came from and what they're feeling, stuff like that. But you don't feel sympathy for this villain. And I thought that what they did with them wasn't executed very well. And I thought that the villain wasn't somebody that the Suicide Squad should have gone up against first. Because this villain is really powerful, and this villain has a lot of crazy powers that when the squad that you have, the only strong one is a guy that can shoot flames. And the rest of the guys have swords and guns and sharp boomerangs. This team doesn't seem like the answer to go up against this threat. So I thought that realistically this mission wouldn't have worked out for them. And there's a scene where they're all fighting the villain, and then the villain just takes away all their weapons with the whisk of their hand, and you're kind of like, you could have done it the entire time. Like, this team is so useless against you. But I mean, it's just because it's a movie, so, and it's a Suicide Squad, so they had to have a couple fight scenes with the villain who could easily wipe them out with like a sweep of their hand. So I didn't like that really. So I didn't like the mission that they were on. I didn't like a lot of the pacing of the movie, and I didn't like the way this movie was edited because there's a lot of choppy scenes and a bunch of scenes that are just randomly inserted into the movie where they just didn't need to be in there. There's a scene where the Suicide Squad, they're walking through a building, and then Margot Robbie just ditches them to go up an elevator to go higher up in the building, and she's just in the elevator just kind of waiting, and then two random bad guys just fly into the elevator just so she can have a quick 5-second fight scene. And it's just so random. I mean, it's cool to watch her kick some butt, but at the same time, it did nothing for the advancement of the movie. That's just one example out of many. And there's many random flashbacks and many on the nose dialogue to further the plot along that kind of bugged me a lot. So, with that being said, there are a lot of problems with this movie, but at the same time, just watching the team itself work together and watching the humor or sorry and just watching just the chemistry of everybody involved, I thought that this movie was there's just a lot of enjoyment to be had for sure. It is a theater experience. Not everyone will love the movie, but a lot of people should at least like the movie and be glad that DC is just in the right direction. And so I'm really looking forward to see what they do next with a lot of these characters. I'm looking forward to what they do with the Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and I'm looking forward to what they'll do with the Justice League and Wonder Woman because not that this movie is out, it kind of sets the bar of okay, just reach this level of fun as well as a mixture of grit. So we'll see what happens next with the DC universe, and I liked it a lot. There's a lot of problems, but it's okay. It's fine. It's good. So here's my thoughts of that. Here's Robert's thoughts.
Hey guys, this is Critic fan, and tonight we are reviewing the movie Suicide Squad. Okay, so what's going on here is the government. They have a bunch of people locked up, and some of them are metahumans, and so they're like, okay, we're gonna take these criminals who are really strong and send them out and do a bunch of stuff for us. And if they get killed, who cares? They're criminals. And if they get caught or something goes down, limit on them, who cares? They're criminals. And if they survive, we take a few years off the sentence. Not really fair to them, but who cares? They're criminals. And so that's basically what the movie is, them gathering these people and sending them out to do the dirty work. And honestly, I had a really good time in watching this movie. It's a really quite enjoyable movie, and what drives this movie a lot is the characters. And there are tons of characters. Example, Will Smith. He just straight kills it as Deadshot. He's a great Deadshot. It's fun to really watch him because it's Will Smith, the Will Smith we all know and love, and he doesn't overdo it, but he does a pretty good job at being this character. And of course, Jai Courtney. I know a lot of people don't like his movies, and I don't mind him. He's not bad at acting, but he really does a great job here, and no one can really hate on his performance. You can't say anything bad about his performance. If you do, you're just a hater, and can't do anything about that. And of course, Jared Leto, I was a little worried about him because he Ledger straight. He was a beast at Joker, and so they bring someone else in. But he honestly, Jared Leto, he's an amazing actor, and so he kills it as a Joker. I mean, he's somewhere between Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger as far as how the Joker acts, all crazy like, doing his thing. But he does a really really good job at it. Unfortunately, they didn't show him a lot. Pretty much what you see in the trailer is what you see in the movie for him. I wish they would have showed more. So that's the only gripe about him I have about that Joker. And of course, his boo, his thing, his girl, his bae, whatever kids say nowadays. I don't know. I don't keep up. Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. She is amazing. She's just a right amount of crazy and hot. They have that crazy, stupid love going on, and you want to get there, but you're like, that's scary. But let's do it anyways. Yeah. And they do a great job. They're great together. I want to see more both of them on screen going against Batman. Let's make it happen, DC. Come on. And also the soundtrack. I always say music is a big part of a movie, and they really utilize the soundtrack here. They do a great job. It's amazing soundtrack, and it works perfectly with the movie and the vision of this movie. You can't complain about it. I'm probably gonna go buy the music after this, as soon as I'm done making this review. Unfortunately, there are some things I'm gonna have to point out that aren't that great. Like the pacing in this, it is a little bit off. It's here, there, hit and miss. Tons of little random flashbacks that I didn't care for. Yeah, they're necessary for character development, and if you don't have them, you need them. It's necessary. Also, there's some characters who do some things at the end that aren't in character. I'm like, dude, you were cool, and you're still cool, but you didn't need to do that. I don't know why you're doing that, but whatever. And also the villain, I really didn't care for her. She was a bit weak. Honestly, when she got in her full villain form, it looked like a girl who just was trying high heels on for the first time, walking, going to prom, just. But I was cool with it. I was like, whatever, you're cute, do your thing, girl, tear stuff up. But other than that, it's a great movie. I brought a few friends with me, and I know, first time I've had friends go with the movie with me since Mikey left. I need more friends. Anyways, They had a good time. They don't know too much about DC or the Suicide Squad or anything like that. They know a little bit about Joker and Heath Ledger, but that's about it. They don't know too much about it, and they were able to follow along. No, like you don't get lost in this. And the crowd, they loved it. There was hand clapping, there was cheering, there was laughing. You have a great time watching this. And of course, there's like a few cameos. One they showed in the trailer, but there's a few other cameo that they didn't show the trailer. And, when you see it, you're like, oh, that is so cool when you see that cameo. Honestly, I loved it. I'm calling this a theater experience. You're gonna want to go see it. And honestly, that's what a movie's supposed to do. It entertains you. That's what you want to do when you see a movie. You want to be entertained. You want to have a good time. You want to enjoy it. And this movie, again, nails it just perfectly like that. Please like us on Facebook, subscribe to this page, leave a comment down below. Like, have you seen the movie? Tell me what you think about it. Um, Also follow us on Twitter. A new round of giveaways coming up right now. Just started. We do giveaway once a month on the Twitter page, so follow that. Have a good evening.